nearly 17 years it took, but the NHL is back on ESPN, and we're amped about it. What is up? This is the Bottom Line Podcast presented by Anchor.fm, your home for sports and entertainment talk. Jimmy Fedizzi, Neil Piano with you. We hope you're doing well. You already know what it is. Hit us up on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Bottom Line WMCX. The MVP Show on Twitter, NVPQB11 on Instagram, hashtag Bottom Line. Leave your thoughts and opinions. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and all audio listening platforms, include Jimmy when searching for the podcast. You already know what it is. I'm not wasting any more time in this episode. Neil, oh my God, you have no idea how amped up I am for today's. Oh, hold on one second here. I'm actually getting in my ear that we're getting a call from our friend Austin Myers, aka Mr. Taco. It's actually been a while since he did a segment for us, but he's here with some.
I thought it was Friday, not Tuesday. I didn't know it was Taco Tuesday today.
I guess things have changed.
I guess you could say it's Fiesta Friday.
There you go. But Austin is here with some breaking news for us. Austin, what do you got, man?
Hey Neil, Jimmy. Sorry for cutting you guys off, but we got some breaking news in the NHL today. So first thing, breaking news: Marc-Andre Fleury has sadly tested positive for COVID, which means he will be out for at least 2 weeks due to COVID protocol. As a Vegas fan, this is going to be a big hit for us. That means we have to bring up 2 of our AHL goaltenders. Not great. But we'd all hope that Mark feels better quickly, heals up, and is ready to play hard when he comes back, because we really need him a lot. But along with that, another few key notes I have. Alex Petrangelo has taken a few games off due to taking a puck to the wrist during practice, and it turns out that it's a little bit more severe as we thought. He's been out for a while. It is what it is. Robin Leonard, he's been back on the ice with the team. Still no expected date for him to come back. We're hoping for something good, but we can only hope. But the topic you guys are on today, the NHL coming back to ESPN for 7 years. I think this is a great move because ESPN will show more games than what NBC and NBCSN has shown. 90% of the time they're showing a Pens or a Caps game. And I mean, I love both teams, but it gets sick. I get sick of it every now and again because it's always, the Pens versus the Bruins, or Bruins versus Caps, or Caps versus Pens, or Pens versus Flyers. It's always the same thing over and over and over again. That's my issue there. But just a little. I am going to give a little bit of a rant, though. Sorry, Jimmy. But, the outdoor games. What were they thinking? First off, the Vegas outdoor game. Gary Bettman should have known, we're not going to do it during the day. We should have done it super early in the morning or at night. But no, we're going to do it in the middle of the day where the ice conditions are going to be absolute garbage. Therefore, we're going to have to postpone it till the night and make people on the East Coast stay up till 3 in the morning. It was questionable. And not just that, on Sunday you had the Bruins versus the Flyers. What the hell was Carter Hart? Carter Hart, more like Carter Fart, letting in 6 goals, 3 being off of freaking David Pastrnak, I believe it was. But Carter Hart needs to work on something, because if you're the franchise's goaltender, you need to be the top. You can't let 6 goals in. I mean, sure, we've seen other goaltenders do it, but no. It's just not good. And that was my rant. Once again, Jimmy, Neil, I'm sorry for cutting you guys off. I just had some great breaking news. Well, this has been Mr. Taco. This is Top Shelf with Taco. See you guys.
All right. Well, thank you, Austin. That's very, very, very insightful, and all our best to Marc-Andre Fleury. We certainly hope that he's
yeah.
Okay.
That hurts. That hurts my damn fantasy team.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Neil. But no,
So I mean, it's not
it-
really what I wanted to hear today.
what can you do, man? But
Yeah.
in all seriousness, though, we do hope that Fleury is recovering well and that he is okay. From what I did hear just recently, before like right in the middle of when Austin was talking, he is currently doing okay. So that's good news. It's very uplifting to hear. So all the best to Marc-Andre Fleury, and he also was talking about the NHL on ESPN, which is what we are going to discuss in today's episode. Because Neil, I know you're amped about this. I am so excited that after 17 years, it is finally coming back to ESPN. In case you did not hear the news this past week, I want to give credit to this article courtesy of ESPN. It doesn't say who exactly wrote it, so I do apologize. Whoever wrote it, I want to give them credit. So let me know who wrote this exact article here. But this does come from ESPN. This was from March 10th of this week. The National Hockey League will return to ESPN starting with the 2021-22 season. ESPN and the NHL announced a 7-year deal on Wednesday, returning hockey to ESPN for the first time since 2004. Included will be 25 regular season games on ESPN or ABC, early round playoff series, and 1 conference final each year, 4 Stanley Cup final series on ABC, and more than 1,000 games per season streaming on ESPN+. ESPN Plus and Hulu will be home to 75 ESPN-produced exclusive telecasts per season. The deal also includes opening night games, the NHL All-Star Game, and Skills Challenge, and other special events. The NHL's out-of-market streaming package, which is NHL.tv, is also moving to ESPN Plus as part of its subscription offerings. International rights in Latin America, the Caribbean, and parts of Europe are also part of the deal, as are extensive highlight rights for ESPN's digital platforms. Executives from the NHL and the Walt Disney Company underscored the platform-rich offerings as a key part of the agreement. Jimmy Pitaro, sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly, excuse me for 1 second there, he said in a recent interview, and he is the chairman of ESPN and sports content for Disney, said this following in a statement, quote, "This agreement clearly underscores the Walt Disney Company's leadership in the sports media landscape and serves as a blueprint for sports deals in the future. We know the power of the NHL and are thrilled to welcome it back as a significant new pillar across our platforms, and we look forward to connecting more deeply and directly with some of the sports world's most passionate fans." I'm not going to read you the whole entire article. You can go read it for yourself on ESPN.com, but that's basically a little bit of a snippet of it. But the bottom line is this is monumental. I mean, like we said before, the NHL has not been on ESPN since 2004, which is when the Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup, I should add. But this is, words can't describe my excitement. I literally have been waiting for this for so long. I don't know what. Look, maybe the contract went up. I don't know the exact details of why it went off in the first place. Maybe it had to do with the contract not being able to be renewed for some unknown reason. I don't know.
You're talking about with NBC?
Well, yeah. That was it.
Well, no, the answer to that is pretty simple. Number one, the NHL wanted to expand its range of promoting the game, and no disrespect to NBC because they've done a fantastic job for many years, and they've done a great job of just promoting the game. It's just that NBC is a whole network that's not just based around sports; it's based around a lot of things.
Right.
And the NBC announced that they are removing NBCSN, I believe, after the Olympics.
Yes.
So that just made it easier for the NHL to want to move on. Also, when ESPN comes to you and offers you twice the amount of money per year than what NBC was offering you, it's kind of hard to say no.
Right.
The deal, as I believe, Jimmy, you did mention, is about $400 million per year.
Yes.
And it comes out to $2.8 billion over 7 years.
Yep.
Which will hopefully be able to help the NHL recoup the money that they lost from the COVID-19 pandemic, which, we're still in it, but the losses that this pandemic has given to the National Hockey League. And that's where it all comes in. And so I think it was just more of a case of the NHL wanted to expand its horizon. I think ESPN and NHL have both grown a lot since 2004. And I think because of how big streaming is nowadays, and we know that ESPN has done a really good job with ESPN Plus and ESPN3 and streaming in general, because they've seemed to understand the younger generation better, they decided to go with this. But also money talks, and getting $400 million per year for the entire NHL is a pretty good amount of money. Certainly going to be interesting with contract. It's going to be able to allow teams to afford big money contracts again within the near future, instead of having a flat cap like we're going to have at least for the next 2 seasons.
Yep, 100%. I was just going to bring up the younger generation as my other point, is that you're trying to expand a sport that, let's face it, is really not that popular, unlike football and baseball. And basketball to a lesser extent. Well, basketball is more popular than hockey, but that's just my personal opinion.
Well, the 2 most popular sports in North America, hands down, are football and basketball.
Well, okay.
I mean, that's just, I'm not speaking that from opinion. I'm speaking that from fact. Like, most of America cares about football and basketball. The way ESPN does it, it's mostly football and basketball. And do I think that the ESPN is going to be able to live up to what they're saying when it comes to actually trying to make hockey more interesting in this country? I think that they will do it to an extent. But the bottom line is still, football and basketball are king in the United States. And honestly, soccer as well has started to grow, because when you say North America, you're not just talking about the United States, you're talking about Canada, and you're also talking about Mexico. And then you go a little further down, you go to South America. I mean, and in a lot of these other countries, what's the only sport that most of these countries have? Soccer. It's the international game. It's the most popular international game out of all of them. And you can't convince me otherwise. It's obvious. Maybe basketball is number 2, but not everybody plays basketball in this country, in this world, excuse me. And so, I would hope that the NHL is going to not the NHL, the ESPN is going to try to really make a difference in trying to get the game to be promoted better. And I think you also have to do the things that are going to be uncomfortable, like forcing the big personalities to talk about it. Because I think that because if you're just going to welcome the NHL back and then just continue as business as usual and not really try, then there was no point in getting this, except from the NHL's perspective, the money. But I know that the NHL wants to expand its audience, expand its horizons, and that's what they're doing here, and that's what they're going to hopefully try to accomplish with ESPN.
No, yeah, you make very fair points there, and I just want to say this too. What was that?
Is it snowing in Vegas right now?
Are you serious?
It's snowing in Las Vegas right now.
Oh my goodness!
I know it's so random, but like the Las Vegas Raiders Twitter account just tweeted out "snow place like Vegas," and literally it's a GIF of it snowing in Vegas.
Wow.
So
that is
nice. So you may tell me in Jersey we get nice, like nearly 70-degree weather now, and Vegas gets snow.
Yeah,
Mother Nature. Global warming, I know people are either anti-global warming or pro-global warming. I know it's a big thing, but global warming, it's no joke.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
This is ridiculous, man. I mean, hey, listen, enjoy the snow. It probably ain't going to last that long, but enjoy the snow if you're out there in Vegas, unless you don't like snow.
Or don't.
And
don't. Suffer. Come to me. They don't look, Texas got snow and they didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, exactly. But
half the damn state went out of power and water.
Yeah, that's
so. I mean, it's all about, you got to be prepared for this stuff, even if 99.9% of the time it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
You got to be fair.
No, it's totally fair. But back to the topic at hand here, what I was gonna say is that what was that statement that Max Kellerman made? No one really cares about hockey. Well, guess what, Max? It's coming to your network. So that just shows you that we do care about hockey and that you should zip your lip when it comes to hockey. Well, actually,
Max Kellerman is a clown.
You're probably going to start talking about it. So you really shouldn't say comments like that.
Max Kellerman is a clown. I mean, that's what it is. Ouch. He's a clown. He's made. I mean, am I wrong necessarily by saying that? He makes a lot of takes that are not right.
You're not wrong.
No, I mean, so here's the thing. What Max Kellerman said, he was right and also wrong to say that. And I'll tell you why. He was wrong to say that because there is a passionate fan base that follows the National Hockey League and the game of hockey. It's a very passionate thing. If you go to Canada, TSN, they're all about hockey. That's their sport. That's their pastime. They talk about, they'll talk about the NBA and the, Major League Baseball and the NFL, but it's not what is their bread and butter. Their bread and butter is hockey. ESPN, hockey is a distant fourth behind football, basketball, and baseball. And you can make an argument that maybe hockey is starting to compete with baseball to possibly jump. Maybe. I don't know. But Max Kellerman was right when he said that, because what he was speaking from the majority of people who watch ESPN and people who live in the United States. When he says nobody cares about hockey, he means there's not a huge percentage of people in the United States who are diehard, passionate hockey fans. So when he says nobody cares about hockey, he's talking about those people that are like living in places like Texas and places like California to an extent, and Miami, and even like way up north, like in Maine and Vermont. Maybe that's not exactly accurate, but still, he's speaking from a lot of people saying, who really cares about hockey? What? That's Canada's thing. That's what they associate it with. That's not an American thing to these people. So that is why Max Kellerman said it that way. And he's a clown. Don't get me wrong. He makes a lot of bad takes, and that was not one of them. But I understand the deeper reasoning as to why he said it that way.
All right. Well, yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, I'm not going to argue what you said, but anyway.
You can. I'm not always right.
No. They're fair points. I got no argument there. You're 100% right on that. But what I was going to say earlier, but other than the whole Max Kellerman thing, was that we were talking about the younger generation earlier. We mentioned it before. Is that if you're trying to expand a certain sport to the younger generation, meaning kids, this would help a ton, because you're getting so many games. If your kid wants to become a sports fan, particularly hockey, now that it's coming back to ESPN, this is a tremendous opportunity to get the younger generation into a sport like this, especially since if they want to play the sport, this is a tremendous opportunity for ESPN that they're doing this. So I got to applaud them for that. But
I would say this also, like, even if they don't want to play it, the main thing here is that the NHL understands that the passionate hockey fans that they already have are not going to leave. They're going to be there no matter what. What the NHL is really trying to do is trying to get people who maybe don't know hockey, have maybe never seen it, to see it and to maybe feel like, you know what, I want to give that a try. And then they start playing when they're very little and they work their way up, and maybe one day they're in the National Hockey League. That's the whole thing.
Right.
That's what all these sports do. We promote it so that we can get more people to play them, so people can be more into them. They can become a more popular sport. And at the end of the day, people can make a crap load of money, because that's really what it is at the end of the day. Yep. So the NHL is looking at ESPN as a way to get more eyeballs to hockey, because if anybody can get eyeballs to the screen for sports, it's got to be the worldwide leader in sports in ESPN. So that's
100%.
That's what this is. They're trying to get new fans to add on to the fans that we already have.
No, you're absolutely 100% correct, and that pretty much just summed up what I was going to say. Like, this is why I said this is a tremendous opportunity for the younger generation to actually check out this type of stuff, especially with the way that streaming is nowadays. Like you brought up earlier, Neil, with the kids streaming nowadays, it's perfect.
Now.
Absolutely,
it's the way of the world. It's absolutely the way of the world right now. Everybody is on their damn phones 95% at least of the time throughout the day, especially right now because we're still in a pandemic. And because especially for, the age group between, let's go between the ages of 14, that's too old, like 10 years old to like 25.
Right, yeah.
Honestly, those are the people that are on their phones nonstop on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Tumblr. People still use Tumblr.
I don't know anybody who uses
hell,
that
even
anymore.
MySpace. I bet you people, and Reddit. Reddit's really big right now. Reddit's really big. But all of them, and they want to get up to the minute, fast-paced information to process, and that's what the NHL is trying to do with like ESPN, like getting streaming. And dude, they have like over 12 million subscribers to ESPN Plus. 12 million.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane. And it's not just in the United States. There are people outside this country who have ESPN Plus.
Yep.
Because they can't watch everything that they want to watch. And the NHL was already having games being streamed on ESPN Plus, out-of-market games. So people got a chance to maybe watch it on there if they couldn't, watch it because they don't live in that same area. For us, we can obviously watch the Devils and the Rangers as much as we want because it's a local team and we get the local channels. But if you're a Devils or Rangers fan that lives in California, your best bet probably is to find something like ESPN Plus and watch it that way. So the NHL was already testing the waters with ESPN about how it would look. And now that we have a legit deal where ESPN is going to be the main, provider of nationally televised NHL games again, it's a big thing. And you have an opportunity to be super creative about it because, again, with the streaming, is so important. People are watching everything on their phones and everything like that. I mean, it's on their tablets and other stuff. It's such a big thing. ESPN has realized that this is the wave of the world now. And we got to jump on it because we can make a lot of money. And if you mean to tell me that even if you got half of the 12 million subscribers that ESPN Plus has right now to watch NHL games, more money, more exposure, the game grows, more people get interested in playing it. Grassroots gets developed. Everybody wins at the end of the day.
Yep. It's a win-win for everybody. But I do know this. I just can't wait to see Stephen A. Smith talk hockey. It'll just be like, Buffalo Sabres, I'm calling you out. I'm so sick of these people. That's just me personally. I'm looking forward to that.
He already did it on Stephen A's World, and it was painful to watch. It was already painful to watch.
I actually found that pretty entertaining. That's just me, though. I don't know. But I will also say this. I know
for me, like the thing with here's the thing. Stephen A and Max Kellerman in particular are both going to be forced to talk about it when they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about baseball. But do you think that ESPN is going to push them to talk about it? The answer is no. I don't expect them to do it. I don't. I think everybody thinks it's funny, but I would be shocked if they really, really got people to talk about it. We'll see. I'm in the approach of we gotta see what ESPN does and go from there. And I'd say give it a year to evaluate it. Give it next season. Let's see what they do next season. If they really are to their word and do what they need to do, then great. If they're not, then we already know what's going on. Yeah, we get ESPN, but whatever. It is what it is. So I think it would be funny to see guys like Stephen A, guys like Max Kellerman, guys like that talk about it, but I don't think it's going to be forced on them. I think if they're asked, I think 9 times out of 10 they're going to say no, and that's just going to be the end of it. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. It'll be interesting, but I'm just looking forward to when somebody has to talk about it. And I will say this as well. I know it's only a rumor, and I did see this in an article somewhere. I forget exactly where I saw it.
Probably
I know it's only. What's that?
Probably the Score, because I think I know what article you're about to refer to.
Probably. But I know it's only a rumor, but I want it to be true so bad that if they can get Gary Thorne to come back to do this, oh my God, I will lose it. I will lose it. I love Gary Thorne. He's he's probably a top 5 broadcaster right now, in my opinion. He is absolutely tremendous. If you have never watched this man call a hockey game, Go look up highlights. He is absolutely sensational. Him and Bill Clement were probably two of the best to ever call a hockey game, at least to me, outside of maybe Steve Levy to a lesser extent and Barry Melrose, but that's just my personal opinion. I think Thorne and Clement were better, but that's just my opinion. But if they can get Thorne and Clement to come back to do this, I will literally lose it, because that would just be an absolute dream come true.
Yeah, well, I mean, Gary Thorne, for a long time when ESPN was doing the games, was the voice, doing the nationally televised games along with Bill Clement. And they got other guys, like you mentioned, Steve Levy and Barry Melrose, to do it when Melrose came across. And this is pretty good timing as well, because the Baltimore Orioles said to Gary Thorne that that starting the season, he would no longer be doing Orioles games for a long time. For many years, he was the voice, play-by-play voice on TV for the Baltimore Orioles. So I think for Gary Thorne, even at his age, I think he's in his 70s by now, or at least
I think early 70s. Yeah,
I think he's in his early 70s. So he's not. I mean, he's not young, but he's not incredibly old either.
No.
I think it would be good for ESPN to bring him on to start and to get people, because we know the type of energy he can bring. We know we know the type of personality that he has from the people who have listened to him. I would expect that the ESPN, guys are going to try to find some people that will really get into it and really be interested. I would imagine Steve Levy is going to it might be tough with Steve Levy because he does Monday Night Football now. So it might not be possible for him to do both. I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong. You got other guys like John Buccigross, who could I don't know if Buccigross necessarily works for ESPN anymore, but if that's the case, maybe ESPN brings him back. He did college hockey on ESPN when they did the Frozen Four for many years. Same with Gary Thorne. And you got a guy like somebody that you and I had the pleasure of interviewing, someone like Don LaGreca, maybe.
Yes.
Somebody like that. But I think also the ESPN team is going to be looking for young people, people in maybe their early 30s, probably some females as well. And this is because they're trying to get as many eyeballs to the TV as possible for many different reasons. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that Gary Thorne wouldn't do that. It's just that for people who don't know who Gary Thorne is and are just trying to get into hockey, they may not find him as enticing. But I still think that Gary Thorne should be given an opportunity to come back. I think he even said in an article from The Athletic, he said straight up that he's definitely going to be contacting ESPN to see what's up. Because right now he doesn't technically have a job, to put it bluntly. And I'm sure ESPN would actually consider it. I would be surprised if they told him no. Because unless they have another idea or another plan in place already, I just think it would make a lot of sense, because he's called a lot of great games, a lot of great moments, a lot of them against the Devils. So that's a little hard to, especially in that video that they shared on social media. That wasn't great.
Gosh,
it is what it is. Gary Thorne
that hurt you a little bit. I saw that. I saw that. I was like, oh no, what's Neil thinking right now?
Well, probably not as much as I was thinking about last night's Devils game. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that I think that it would be a very good idea. I would love to see it as a fan, because I wasn't fully conscious, nor was I really into hockey when Gary Thorne was doing games on ESPN back in the early 2000s. And when the NHL and ESPN separated, it was 2004. I was only 7 years of age.
Right.
So for my whole childhood, I grew up listening to Doc at NBC, and that's all I've known. So seeing ESPN, this will be a new thing. And ESPN does have some experience in the past, because a couple of years ago, if you remember, they did the World Cup of Hockey. So they have been sort of preparing themselves for this opportunity. And now the NHL has that situation with ESPN. But I will also remind everybody that ESPN doesn't have all of the games. There are still parts of the season that need to be filled out, like 2 of the Stanley Cup finals and some other, nationally televised games. And there's a possibility that NBC could jump back on in a lesser role, obviously, but still jump on and do some games here and there.
Right.
And I would be interested to know, with some of the pretty well-known people at NBC, Catherine Tappan, you have Liam McHugh, you have Anson Carter, Patrick Sharp, you have some really good personalities. I wonder if ESPN is going to think about bringing any of them over to ESPN to kind of continue that whole, presentation. Maybe they don't.
That'd be interesting.
I don't know. But obviously these guys are going to try to finish this contract on a high note and go from there.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point you bring up. It'll be interesting to see what happens with them. But the bottom line is that this deal is truly a dream come true. Neil and I are super amped up that the NHL is finally coming back to ESPN after 17 long years. It's finally here. Let us know what you think of this news. Are you excited that the NHL is back on ESPN? And what games are you looking forward to once the schedule comes out next season? You can do one of two things. You can either send a video message to my email, bottomlinewmcx@gmail.com. Yes, I'm still taking your advice on that, Neil. Hopefully this will work out this time. So send a 30-second to a minute video message to my email, bottomlinewmcx@gmail.com. Let us know what you think of the ESPN and NHL deal. Or you can do the usual. Let us know on Twitter and Instagram @BottomlineWMCX, on Twitter @The NVP Show, and on Instagram @NVPQB11, #BottomLine. Leave a voice message on the Anchor app or Anchor.fm. And as always, if you like what you're seeing on YouTube, please leave a like and a comment down below. It helps out tremendously. And please make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss an episode. Or subscribe on all audio listening platforms. Just include Jimmy when searching for
Jimmy, you're doing it again.
Podcast. Yeah, I know.
You're repeating yourself. We get it.
Before we actually sign off, a couple of birthday shout outs I want to give here real quick. First of all,
where did this come from? So this is a new segment?
Yeah, surprise on you.
Are we doing a birthday segment now?
Well, just for this particular episode, because there are a couple of people I want to shout out in particular. First of all, I know we mentioned him on social media yesterday, but happy birthday to First to 11's own Ryan Krysiak. Happy birthday, Ryan. We hope you had a tremendous day. We hope it was awesome. And also to the OG listener and our very good friend, Andrew Huntington, celebrated a birthday recently. So happy birthday, Andrew. We hope it was awesome, and we will be having you back on again real soon. So don't you worry about that. And we hopefully will do an episode in person sometime soon once the whole world is vaccinated, I guess. So stay tuned for updates on that. I really miss doing episodes in person, man. I've gotten used to this. I have, but it's just not the same to me as doing it in person. I just miss that dynamic of doing it in person, if you know what I mean. But happy birthday to both Ryan and Andrew. We hope you both have a tremendous day and an amazing weekend. Neil, I hope you have a tremendous weekend as well. I'm looking forward to doing it all again next week.
Well, thank you, Jimmy. And by the way, if anybody there's another way you can make sure you let Jimmy know if you have any opinions. You can text him at 732.
Oh my God!
No, it's all good. No, I'm kidding. But thank you as always, Jimmy. This was obviously, as usual, a blast. Yeah, it's an exciting time for hockey fans, and hopefully with ESPN jumping on board, we can start to get more eyeballs to the sport and go from there. But I hope you also enjoy your weekend. It should be nice out like it is today, and just try to enjoy Mother Nature as best as you can.
Amen to that. And by the way, the day we give out phone numbers is the day we get canceled. But on that note, that'll wrap it up for us. For New Villapiano.
Oh, geez, don't get me started with cancel culture. Do not get me started with cancel culture. I'm not. I don't feel like being involved with cancel culture. Come on.
I'm only messing around. Don't worry about that. But on that note, that'll wrap it up for us. Enjoy the weekend and let us know what you think on the NHL, the ESPN deal. For Neil Villapiano and for Austin Myers, I'm Jimmy Fedizzi. This is the Bottom Line Podcast, and we will see you in the next episode. Peace out.